I was recently doing some reading on the history of the college and was reminded that in the early days, the college grounds were far more extensive than they are now. In fact, at one time, the property was bounded by Shannon Avenue, West Fyne Street and Fraser Street and the Barwon River, so many times the size that it currently is. The few photos that are available from this era show that far from beautifully manicured grounds, most of the site was a farm which was worked by the orphans of St Augustine's who lived here. Also part of our history, albeit much more recently, was Sunday Mass, which for many, many years was said in the college chapel, and everyone who lived locally was invited and many local families attended. Reading this information made me reflect on the role that the college plays in the local community. Our grounds are really important as open space to people who live in this area. They're maintained by the college and are formally occupied and used by the St Joseph's Cricket Club and St Joseph's Football Netball Club seasonally, but many locals make regular use of the grounds for recreation. And this, for us, really is a win-win, because having neighbours around and on site assists keep the site secure. Friday night, that is tomorrow night, we will formally open the new Kerry Oval Pavilion, which is a welcome addition to this part of our grounds. The new pavilion will provide change and toilet facilities for that oval and a small social area that can also be used as a classroom. This pavilion will be particularly important for female football and cricket, which is held on Kerry Oval most weekends. The fact that the sporting clubs of a boys' school are significant providers of opportunities for women to participate in sport in the region is noteworthy and really consistent with our emphasis on inclusivity. This commitment by the college in supporting community sport was recognised by the City of Greater Geelong, who provided the St Joseph's Cricket Club with a community and infrastructure grant to contribute to the development of this pavilion. And I'd like to formally acknowledge in this forum the foresight and support shown from the City of Greater Geelong with this project. This week, families have been welcomed into a range of wellbeing workshops, which have been well publicised on our website and social media. One of the most popular sessions was on the topic of phone addiction. When I was growing up, get off the phone was a fairly common refrain at our house, and it usually meant that someone had monopolised the only landline, usually with the cord run under a door into the next room to ensure a degree of privacy. And so I suppose in those days it was pretty difficult to get addicted to your phone. Today, in our houses, classrooms, schoolyards, bus stops, in fact, just about everywhere, we are all on our phones, and it seems young people more so perhaps than the rest of us. At school, we expect that phones won't be used during the day and students are asked to leave them in their lockers. Sometimes we confiscate a phone from a student and almost invariably find that the screen seems to just light up constantly with messages and notifications, particularly from Snapchat and TikTok. Our current students were born between 2004 and 2009 and belong to the generation called Gen Z. I recently found an article called What Gen Z Actually Do Online, and there were some interesting findings. I might share just a couple of them with you. About 60% of Gen Z spend between 3 and 6 hours a day on a device, usually a phone. 37% spend over 3 hours a day on social media. 75% of males indulge in gaming weekly. 41% of people in regional areas, or Gen Z in regional areas, game daily. 88% say that they use chat or message online daily. I was pleased to see, though, that 50% also reported that they study online daily. And perhaps the last number that I might share with you, 48% of Gen Z, our young people, say they feel addicted to social media. I hope that those families who were part of the seminar online earlier this week found it helpful in dealing with developing or full-blown addiction in their sons. Addiction of any type is damaging. In this newsletter, you'll also find an article about vaping, which is becoming more prevalent amongst young people and poses serious health risks along with risks of addiction. I encourage you to access what you can in these areas and have a conversation with your son about it. Work on the college strategic plan continues. There's never been a more important time for us to ensure that we're providing the education that will successfully equip our graduates for the world beyond school. We need to hear from everyone with skin in the game, and as parents, you're among the most significant stakeholders, and we need your input. You're invited to gather at 7 p.m. on the evening of Tuesday, the 5th of April in the college staff room. We'll get together for about an hour and a half on that occasion, and it will be an opportunity for you to tell us what you're looking for your son from the school in the next 5 to 6 year period. If you are able to attend, please confirm that with Adele Watt, and her web address or email address is available in the written form of this newsletter. Thanks, everyone.